Hi friends, thanks for joining me. Today I have a new layout for you using the December 2021 kits, and I am focusing on the chipboard products from those kits. So I'll be using the main kit, embellishment and pocket life kits. And you can see I've already kind of smashed my kit already because I've used lots of the gorgeous pieces. But I'm going to pick out some bits and pieces that I have left. And I'm going to use that lovely plaid paper as my background, but I couldn't resist using some of the other elements to enhance the background somewhat. I really love the flowery paper in the December kits. I think they are the prettiest flowers I've ever seen, so I'm using some of the pattern paper to just edge this one. And I'm going to do that torn edge that you can see there, and I'm going to use 2 layers. I think this just gives it a little bit of punch because the colours are very pastel, and I do like that little shot of navy blue there on that paper. So I think that would just really help to pop that off the page and really enhance the background. And it also ties in with those lovely, that flower paper as well, which has like navy blue leaves. So whilst I'm just fiddling around with that, I'll just tell you a little bit about my layout. We were lucky enough to get away for a bit of summer sunshine at Christmas. So we went to a place called Lanzarote, which is in the Canary Isles, just off North Africa, and had a wonderful time. It was sunny whilst it was pouring with rain back here in the UK. So we had a really chilled holiday. And this is a photo of my hubby and I doing a little Snapchat selfie by the pool. So it was a very chilled Christmas. So we came back on Boxing Day. It's not something we've ever done before, but it's definitely something I want to do again because it was so nice to escape the winter sun for a bit of winter sun. So I mounted my photos onto that navy because, as I say, the colours are very pastel, so it's nice just to have a bit of a pop of colour. Also ties in with my hubby's top. Not sure about those antlers and so on. And I think I'm going to be using some of those frames that you saw from the main kit. I've used quite a lot of mine already, so I am a bit thin on the ground. But I really liked the chipboard titles. I think those came from the Pocket Life kit. And I'm going to use lots of those titles on this page as a kind of bit of journaling. And I'm going to mix it in with some tags, and just have a design that generally goes down the page. So I pulled out one of the Pocket Life tags there, and I'm just going to make one for the top of the page. So I'm just going to trace literally around one of the tags that came from Pocket Life, and I'm going to hang that from the top of the page. And I like to do this quite frequently. I like a tag or a little thing that you could add a little bit of twine to, because I just love the texture that gives. I've got some very thin wax twines that I don't find too heavy. Sometimes if you use a ribbon, I do think they can be a little bit loud or a little bit bulky, whereas a little bit of twine actually just gives you that movement and not too overpowering. So I've used one of my templates to cut out this little, it's kind of like a bracket shaped area. And again, it's just for a bit of interest. So I could have used a border punch, or, a tag, another tag, I guess. But it just gives it a little bit of an edge up there. Something I can just place some embellishments. So what I did is I taped my photos down at the bottom, but the tape was too high, so I could no longer fit my tag underneath. And so I've just swapped that tag out and trimmed it down a little bit. So look at me, I'm sticking down already. I'm going to have those 2 tags line up and thread some twine between the 2 ultimately. and I'm just going to stick down that little bit of paper that I cut out just for a bit of interest. And I'm going to use some of those frames, and again I like to use those frames, they're one of my favourite pieces, because they're just a little great way of collecting, or an area for collecting your embellishments. So I find them really useful. So I've put some of the chipboard letters in from that titles pack. That one says fun. And I think the chipboard frame itself has a little bit of journaling on too. So I'm threading some of that twine through to through the two tags, and I just have a little fiddle around as to how I want that to look. So it does take me a few minutes to go backwards and forwards. I end up threading a double loop at the top and then threading it through to the bottom, and then have an idea later on, which you'll see, where I thread a tag through the middle as well. So it doesn't really last as long, but the tag at the bottom there will provide some journaling space for me. So I'll need to take it out and write my journaling on anyway. So I think this came together really quickly for me. I'm a bit of a slow scrapper. I'm sure there are many of you out there that are the same. But I think using these titles really helped to bring the layout together quite quickly, because they take up quite a bit of space, and they're just really fun to use. It's not something I do very often, but I really enjoyed the process of this one, which is, I think, why it all came together so quickly. So it was a celebration because we were there for Christmas, and it was definitely bliss because we sat by the pool every day, not to make you jealous, but it was just warm, so very easygoing holiday. And I'm just going to finish the bottom off. So kind of in my head, I want your eye to flow from the top of the page and work its way down through the various elements down to the bottom. And I used a pocket live card there to create a tiny tag again. And again, I've used it in the navy just to bring out those pops of colour and give it a little bit more a cohesive look. So I was originally going to use the adventure journal word, but then I decided actually warm was definitely the best word for this particular layout, because it was definitely warmer than than home. It was about 22 degrees every day, sunshine. Oh, it was just, I keep raving about it. It must get really annoying for everyone. And so I've got it more or less there. I'm just going to add the last few bits and pieces from the kit. I love that flower at the bottom there. It's so pretty. I think it is the prettiest flowers I've seen from Kim and Kimberly. Definitely my favourite. So if they want to bring them back, I'll be your number one fan. And again, just a little bit of twine at the bottom, to finish things off. So if you're interested, the twine that I use is a waxed thread. I think it's about 0.5 or 0.5 mils. No, does that sound right to you? 5 mil? No, 0.5 mils. Anyway, it's quite thin. But you could use crochet thread. I find with the wax thread, actually, it has nice, you can shape it a little bit easier than crochet thread. But it is about the same width as crochet. So I'm just fiddling around through looking for more tags and things, and I see this tag and I thought, oh, that'd be really cute hung at the top there. So all that time I spent threading up that second tag, I'm just going to undo and thread that tag through. And I couldn't decide what was the best way to do that. I kind of toyed with the idea of knotting it into place. And then I thought, oh, actually, I just kind of like it threaded. but of course it will fall down, so in the end I've threaded it through and then glued it into place and then just re-tied the bottom tag. But that is more or less it. I do change the title a little bit, so it's to stay warm. So I move the warm down a little bit just to make a bit of space. But apart from a little bit of sewing and then a few more little journal words, that about wraps it up. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope I've inspired you to use some of your chipboard from the December kits. I really love those. I think they're a really good weight of chipboard, not too chunky. They are some of my favourite pieces each month in the kit. And I'll leave you with the close-ups, and hopefully you can join us next time. Thank you so much for your time today. If you like it, you could give us a thumbs up and indeed follow us on YouTube. And I'll see you on the next video. Take care now. Bye.